Alright, for anybody watching later, welcome to another one of our semi-unscheduled live streams, although we can't really keep saying they're unscheduled at this point. Because I think we're like 8 weeks in now to having done them at about this time every Saturday night. So I think at this point they're scheduled. Let me get the chat up because they're not so scheduled that I am prepared. And then we're going to get to talking about the Eclipse Preparedness. Some of y'all have lost all sense of perspective about this whole Eclipse damn thing. Mr. Rambo, look who's here. Son of a gun. Gunner Rambo? Hey, Les is here. Gunner, say hello to Isaac. You're just a tad bit older than he is, but you young men would have a lot in common. And preparedness is overrated anyway. Hey, Corn Pop. Isaac had some good fortune this week. We can't wait to hear Isaac's good fortune. Also, we're going to be talking about Isaac had something kind of cool happen on Twitter. So we're going to wait till a few more people get in the stream before we talk about that. It was kind of fun. Oh, good. I'm glad Sharon's going to be here. She sent me an article, Les, and I've been meaning to respond to her, and it'll just be easier to do it here. But yeah, Isaac and Gunner, you guys would probably enjoy each other. Hashtag no homo. Hey, Freedom Dad, shalom. Let me get this chat up and running. Oh, come on. We'll be there in a second. Oh, wow, I found out a comic book I inherited is worth about $500. Daredevil from 1966. Oh, that's kind of fun. All right. Okay, I know I'm shallow. I kind of wish I didn't have a cell phone contract, because I think I'd probably get Mint Mobile. I really like Ronald Reynolds' stupid commercials. All right. Okay. Hey, Dean is here to abuse my blue wrench privilege. All right, so I think we're just going to get off into it. No need to wait. We've got 18 people. Hey, Nebraska, 1187 Gar. Patrick E is here. What? My audio's off. Les says my audio's off. Can anyone hear me? Is it off or like not working at all? Okay, Isaac says we got audio. Loud and clear. All right, Gunner says we're loud and clear. Okay, so Les Joe says I'm fuzzy. It's not my audio, that's my face, Les. That's hurtful, man. So, Gunner Rambo. Many of you are familiar with the inestimable Pete Rambo. Sounds like it's raining in the back. Farm stocks, other people have said that too. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to cut down some echo. I don't know. I'm sorry, man. I don't know what's going on. 1187 Gar says static. The Popcorn Company soundtrack at the same time. That has got to be infuriating, man. GFI. Ground fault interference? That is crazy. Yeah. I wonder if, huh. Let's try something. All right, I'm sorry. We're gonna try something real quick. Oh, I can't do. Oh, wait, wait. Oh, it's not working. Okay. I am so sorry about that. Okay, so what I did, I can't believe there's still 18 of you in the chat. Did a drunken hobo steal your phone and run off with it? I cannot believe there's still 18 of you here. Uh, it's still doing it though. I can hear it on Mariah's phone. I took off the cover, just in case it was buzzing or something. I don't know. It's still doing it? All right, we're gonna go with it, man. I'm gonna try to find a solution. Don't break it. I have no idea what's happened, and that's really irritating. So I appreciate y'all putting up with it. No wonder the stream has been down lately. no, no one wants to hear that. Someone mentioned it last week too, and I just didn't. All right. So I'm sorry. Before all that started, I was hoping maybe that like it was just dirty or buzzy but I need to find where the microphone's at on this thing. I think it's down here. Maybe I can clean it. Maybe there's some dirt in it. All right. Hey. So, Gunner. Those of you who know, how are you interfaced? I'm married, if that's what you're asking. I'm flattered that you asked, though, Dean. I don't know what you mean by interfaced. Okay, those of you who know Pete Rambo, geez, I'm so sorry. Gunner here in the house is Pete's oldest son. And yes, his name is actually Gunner, which is one of the cooler names. I'm on Wi-Fi, but I don't know what my Wi-Fi is past. I don't know after, the wall. I know where there's a cord that goes into the wall, and that's it. But yeah, Gunner is Pete Rambo's oldest son. Gunner is, he used to be a young man who I had an intense interest in his welfare. I no longer do because he started beating me at chess, and beating me at chess is not an option if you're going to be in my good graces. So I used to care deeply about Gunner. I no longer do. But I do care deeply about his father, so I guess I do have to care about Gunner. I don't know what's happened, though, man. I mean, obviously he's gotten much better. He's come on very, very strong, but it's just gotten embarrassing. I think I beat him something like 12 out of 10 matches, and now he's just come back like 5 out of 6 or so. I don't know. I don't even know. I'd have to look and see. It's bad though. The recent history is very, very bad. So, but there you go. Y'all be nice to Gunner. Also, he is a nurse practitioner, so free healthcare advice. Okay, Eclipse. Woo! Oh well, we finally lost a bunch of people. That's fair. Damn, but we lost a bunch of people. No one liked you, Gunner. I started talking about Gunner, and I went from 22 to 14. Probably lost Gunner. Everyone should like Gunner. Gunner's a fine young man. Nice, Isaac. This Eclipse has got some people wrapped around the damn axle. I mean, wrapped around the damn axle. Woo! Are you in the eclipse path? Yes, Patrick. I think we will see about 80% of it. The Braves are losing to the Diamondbacks. Son of a gun. We'll get about 80% of it. I don't think. I think it's a little bit to the north of us. Uh, but yeah, we're gonna get a pretty good shot of it. Yeah, and the last one back in 2017, we got 100. We saw the full eclipse. It was very, very, very cool. At work, they bought us all the glasses and they let us out, and we went in the parking lot and we watched the eclipse. So that's 31 million Americans along the direct path. That's 10% of the country, or actually less than 10%, not much less. But very, very cool. One came over when I was a kid too, a full one. I was probably in third grade, maybe second grade, and one came past. But it is a sign of where the country is right now, that so many people are. I mean, it's been a. Oh, Patrick's getting a full eclipse. Well, 325. Uh, it's a trope of old literature and stuff that oh, we're gonna do your demented neighbor. Why don't you be my demented neighbor? Uh, that so many people are freaked out about this thing. It used to be a trope in literature, popular literature, that people would be saved by eclipses. Random eclipses would happen, and oh, I've never seen the Northern Lights. I would love to see the Northern Lights. Is Sharon here? Hey, Sharon. Uh, the one I can think of off the top of my head is Connecticut Yankee King Arthur's Court, where somehow he knows an eclipse is coming, and he uses it to keep from getting hung. Uh, so I mean, eclipses have always been it's sort of connected to this mass hysteria. And those of you who were here for last week's live stream know that I believe very, very strongly that our nation is in trouble, and that we are on our way to a fall of some kind. Judgment is coming. A righteous God will not be mocked forever, and we are mocking him. But I don't think that this now I'm going to be a little bit of a hypocrite here, because while I don't think that this eclipse is cause for panic, I'm my get home bag hasn't been in my truck for a very long time, because I'm a terrible prepper. As much as I like prepping and as much as I talk about it, it's a lot of work. And for some reason, I just don't have my. Oh, I know I don't have my bug out bag in my truck. It takes up too much room. My truck is way overcrowded with crap, and I just don't have anywhere to put it. But Monday, I'm going to go ahead and throw it in the truck. Just because, why not? Uh, but I honestly don't think that you know this is going to be panic in the street and chaos and whatnot. I do need a compact rifle in the truck. I need to finish my rifle, my truck rifle. The problem is Adam over at North Point Axe sent me that crazy. Uh, he threw me off my project. Y'all saw this video the other day. He sent me that crank handle. I wonder if that would go on an AR-9. Ooh, interesting. I gotta think about that. But he sent me that crank handle, 3-round burst thing, and so my next gun project was to finish my truck gun, which was going to be an AR-9. But now he sent me this crank handle, and he kind of pulled me off that and put me on uh, doing a lower to put this crank handle on. Yeah, basically a redneck MP5. Uh, but yeah, I need to get that done and get it in the truck because one day it's going to become necessary. So my point about the Eclipse, and we're probably going to get off the Eclipse pretty quick because there's only so much you can say about it, is that, yeah, there's two things I wanted to note about the Eclipse. First off, how how keyed up is everybody? How on edge is the world that this eclipse has got everyone? I mean, people who normally don't even talk about this kind of stuff. I've been hearing people who have zero interest in spiritual matters, who have zero interest in prepping, who have zero interest in freedom, and none of the things we care about. Uh, People who have no concern about any of these things suddenly are very, very, very involved in the eclipse and what it means. Uh, and and that brings up a subset of questions to me. First off, why? Who's pushing this? Is it TikTok? If it's TikTok, does it is this just is this just another way to kind of undercut the American people and put us on edge and cause panic and everything? Or are even the quote unquote normies, scare quotes, normies, kinetic? Oh, the little season. I've heard about that. What is that? I think that's an end times theory. Tell us about the little season, kinetic. Uh, or, oh, hey, Boo Radley. That's a little bit of a, not maybe not an obscure reference, but not an immediate obvious reference. Uh, where was I? Oh, are even like the quote unquote normies now so worked up and on edge that even they're paying attention? And if they are, what does that mean? How how close are we to the balloon going up? Is Boogaloo right around the corner? Well, I got to get our. It's not a theory; it's predestined prophecy. So here's the thing with prophecy, kinetic. Prophecy is a very difficult thing. An end times prophecy. Hey, Lance Corporal Veterans here. How you doing, sir? Uh, Lance Corporal Veteran, either you have a second account that you were, hey, Rusty, that you were posting from the other day, or someone's trying to spoof you, because I had a Lance Corporal Veteran, yada yada. Uh, yeah, Kinetic. I know you're talking about real prophets in the Bible. The problem, not the problem, the challenge is interpreting those prophets correctly. A lot of really good, well-meaning, informed, knowledgeable, studied, learned men uh, have come up with some batshit crazy ideas about what end times prophecy means. I was raised in all that stuff, uh, and a lot of people who to this day I still love and admire and respect said things that were just completely wrong. And at the time, they didn't. It didn't come from a bad place. These weren't evil people. Uh, they were just mistaken, but they were very, very confidently mistaken. They were very, very sure of themselves. And So yeah, I don't want to say I take it all with a grain of salt, because we were given the prophecies for a reason, and that reason, every prophecy has at least three fulfillments. It has an immediate fulfillment for the people who hear it. It has its ultimate fulfillment, and it has a spiritual fulfillment for those of us who how we can apply it in our lives. So I mean, I believe in the prophecies. I believe in the Revelation, Daniel, Zechariah, Matthew, all of it. I don't. I know it's all true. I am skeptical that we understand it as much as we think we are. Yeah, and I grew up Pentecostal, kinetic, and that may be why I just I've reacted so strongly against it. Uh, but I never want to sit in the seat of the scoffer. Be happy to talk about it. I'm not. Uh, hey, Landon Wold, shalom, brother. I'm not rejecting it out of hand. I don't remember the details about the little season. I believe, if I remember correctly, and put the bleach and the copperhead down. If I remember correctly, the little season states that the millennium has already happened. The millennial reign of Christ has already happened, and we're living in a period where Satan has been unleashed, or the Antichrist has been unleashed, and so that he has a little season to wreak havoc, if I recall. And that's how I remember the little season. It doesn't. I, what I've heard, I have not done a deep dive on it by any stretch of the imagination. I've just interacted with it briefly. The little bit of interaction I had with it didn't convince me. But then again, nothing has convinced me yet about anybody who knows what's. Now, one of the guys under me, Mike Farmer, says one of his guys is going to go hang out in Indiana to watch it. Les says it's just another day for me. I'm more concerned with any of the fighters. I believe we're living in a season where we were still obligated to spread the gospel. That needs to always remain mission focused. Yes. I think there's a difference between East and West Coast Pentecostals, and also cultural backgrounds matter in the influence of your view of Pentecostal. Braves tied the Diamondbacks. Woo-hoo. I wish I had turned that alert off before we started this. So, end times prophecy to me gets really, 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 really sketchy. Not sketchy. No, the prophecy doesn't get sketchy. I'm sorry. Let me be deliberate in my language. Interpretations of the prophecy, I feel like, need to be held very, very loosely. I've heard a lot of dates. Mike, I don't get that either. Why is NASA firing rockets? What the hell is that all about? Why? What? Why are we what? I don't understand. Did they just not check the calendar? Do they fire rockets regularly? I have all sorts of questions about this. You would think NASA, of all people, would know when an eclipse is. And I'm just going to state it. If NASA does not know that an eclipse is coming, then I say, disband the bastards, because this is their job, Okay, Gunner says NASA is launching the rocket supposedly to learn about weather conditions during an eclipse. What? Why? Doesn't it? I mean, wouldn't the weather be the same as it would be, say, like in the evening? I don't. Sharon's got a good point. This is not the first time rockets have been fired. It's just like, but why are we firing 3 rockets in the middle of an eclipse? I'm just saying, that if you want to inspire confidence in the populace at large, don't do weird stuff for no reason. Everyone's already on edge. Everyone's tracking my pastor Jim Brown has done extensive studies this subject alone. He has thousands of lessons right here on YouTube, Grace and Truth Ministries. All right, y'all, feel free to check. Hey, Nona's here. Nona, actually, don't want to out you, Nona. SpaceX has been firing multiple times weekly. NASA hasn't been sending up much at all lately. Nona, I think that means you don't mind if I say that you can see the launches from your work, I think, is what it is. So Nona would be in the know. She can see those from. Thank you, Nona. From where she works. Yeah, I think the hysteria on the eclipse is overcooked, but dear Lord, man, they're going out of their way to you make us not trust them. Yeah, this CERN thing, I'm going to be honest with you. Whenever Hadron Colliders have been being used for years, uh, and none of them have yet ever once opened a portal to the netherworld. Now, I do play a little bit of Minecraft. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I don't play too much. Just on Friday nights, I just play Minecraft for a few hours as sort of a mindless sort of uh, just relaxation thing. Uh, and so I do open portals to the Nether occasionally. You use obsidian, not CERN. Oh, the red heifer thing. Uh, the red corn pop. If you oh, now Braves are beating the Diamondbacks. Woohoo! If we want to talk about the red heifer, we can talk about the red heifer. Y'all tell me if you're interested in the red heifer. Gunner's probably studied up on the red heifer too. He probably has more details than I do. More recent details on top of that. Okay, but oh yeah, no, wait, now hold on a second. Uh, Gunner's asking why the Hindu goddess of destruction is at the entrance to the CERN. Look, everything these globalist assholes do is pagan and satanic. I just don't think CERN can open up a portal to hey, Dean's back. We missed you, Dean. Uh, uh, I just don't think the CERN Hadron Collider, Particle Collider, uh, is is going to open up a portal to the spiritual world. I don't think that's. I don't believe that we have a technological uh, ability to do that. But yeah, no, America is dripping with pagan idolatry. I went to Hoover Dam about 2 years ago now. Amazing place. Amazing place. Hoover Dam was just wow. Man, we used to be able to do amazing things. But there at Hoover Dam, off to the side, as hey, C103's here. C103, people were asking if you were okay with me eating your corn. Uh, there's these pagan looking statues and this star map and just like this whole get up over there to the side as you come down onto Hoover Dam. That's off to the left if you're coming from Las Vegas, which I assume most people come from Las Vegas. But yeah, you're coming from Las Vegas and you come down this this hill and it goes down. Oh, Satch Boogeyman's granddad hauled concrete to Hoover Dam. That's very cool. Uh, and right before you're about to turn right to go onto the dam, it's just off here. I don't care. That's hurtful, C103. You're a man who cares. Oh, C103. I gotta call you. Uh, Buddy Bear, who you've met at you've met Buddy Bear at some uh, Viking Preparedness leadership meets. He wants to get in touch with you. I mean, I'm 99.999% sure you don't mind if I give him your phone number. But I was going to ask you before I did, and I keep forgetting to call you. Uh, so this is your opportunity to tell me not to give him your phone number. Uh, you've met him. You guys would actually be a really good match. Your personalities would mesh well together, I think, and you don't live that far from each other. Anywho, where was I? Back, back to reality. Anyway, yeah, pagan imagery everywhere. I got to admit, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Statue of Liberty. Uh, Remember the occult ritual in front of the Hindu statue that was caught on film and leaked in 2018? Yeah, and what was that giant freaking thing? They had some huge bull. I don't know. They just go out of their way to make us think they're crazy. They are crazy. They're nuts. I mean, these people are absolutely insane. There was this whole, is this a dating site now or what? The Italians are erecting statues of Moloch. Yeah, I think that's the one I'm thinking about, Dean. Uh, but there used to be this woman, this crazy ass woman. I don't remember her name. I wish I did. Uh, but she was connected way up in the halls of power in this country, uh, and uh, she had this shtick she do where she was all about cannibalism. Uh, okay, I'll tell. Okay, thanks, Theo. I'll send him your number and tell him to text. Uh, uh, she would do all like these. I can't remember if she was Haitian or not, Isaac. That's that's funny though. I see what you did there. And so she would have all these like giant displays and everything featuring cannibalism. And then she got to the point where fake she would do these meals where all the food was done up to look like human flesh or human bodies, and they would be these cannibalism dinners. Uh, the crazy is just weird stuff. And the Panetta brothers, if you remember the Panetta brothers, there's Leon. Leon Panetta was big up in the Obama administration, and he was big in Hillary Clinton's campaign. Well, his brother, they're both homosexuals. I can't remember, his brother's name's Chris or something. But his brother was was all involved in this stuff too. And he was always trying to get Leon involved in it. And Leon was involved in it, but the the punchline to this whole joke is that Leon Panetta's brother was dating the guy that owns the pizza shop that Pizzagate was all set up around. So everyone's like all making fun of the QAnon types, and yeah, there was definitely some silliness that got injected into QAnon there at the end. Uh, 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 and these people, Abramovich. Thank you, Axon Jackson. I appreciate that. Marina Abramovich. Uh, uh, and these people are just publicly dabbling in cannibalism. Meanwhile, they're making fun of us for thinking they might be abusing children in the basement of a pizza. They're openly LARPing cannibalism. Why, why the hell would we think that they would blink at the sexual exploitation of children? Uh, it's the thing is, when you actually learn about these assholes, uh, spirit cooking, interesting. Huh? When you actually learn about these assholes, first off, you realize these people are actually too stupid uh, to take over the world. They're actually really dumb. The vast majority of them are stupid, silly, venal jackasses. I mean, what asshole in their right mind says, you know what? Let's pretend to be cannibals for a night. It'll be spiritual. I mean, it's just asininity on an extreme level. Uh, but then they get all like, shocked and incensed and enraged and insulted. And how dare you accuse me of being a groomer? I'm not a groomer. I'm just a cannibal. It's like, you did what? Yeah, you're just retarded. How did you get? How do people like this get in charge of things? How do people this stupid and this silly gain influence and money? See, this bothers me. I'm 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 pretty poor. I mean, I'm not dirt poor. I mean, hell, I was born in America. I mean, on the grand scale of things, historically, I'm in the upper, 100th percentile of people who've ever lived. But but for this country, I'm pretty poor. Uh, how 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 does someone so stupid that they want to pretend to be a cannibal on a Friday night, uh, how does these people get to be wealthy, influential elites? And I mean, what does it say about me? I just must be way dumber than I thought I was, because I'm being ruled over by idiots, uh, absolute idiots. And if you've ever been on a NATO mission or a UN missions are even worse. Uh, you realize we're being ruled by fools and morons. And the things that should make us the angriest is that these fools and morons are able to rule over us, because they're just incompetent assholes. Anywho, all that to say, let me get back to CERN, because I think that's where I was at when I went off on this. Oh yeah, we were talking about CERN, and we said, oh yeah, better made in Canada. We should talk about that. Uh, we should talk about that, Patrick. We'll talk about made in just a minute. Uh, uh, we were talking about how they've got all these pagan statues all over the place, and they're redoing all these pagan rituals, and that got us off into Cannibal Lady. Uh, hey, Shake. Uh, back when they were first gonna to test the first nuclear weapon, there was this counter narrative, that there was this whole group of people that thought that when we set off the first nuclear weapon, it was going to set off a chain reaction that would lead to a spontaneous combustion that would cause all of the oxygen in the Earth's atmosphere to be burned up. I don't probably have to tell any of you why that would be a bad thing. That would be a bad thing. Not good if all the oxygen gets burned up. Uh, and these dumbasses said, yeah, probably not. I don't. It doesn't seem likely, or it seems unlikely. But there was a chance. There was a chance that when they set off the first nuclear bomb, that it was going to burn all the oxygen out of the atmosphere, and we were all going to asphyxiate to death. Now, in all fairness, it would also have killed the Nazis. So we still would have won the war. But, at what cost? So there is a long history of technological, I don't want to say innovation, because I don't know if CERN is technology innovative. But it very frequently gets accused of worst case scenario type stuff. A pop-up ad. I haven't seen a pop-up ad on a desktop in a very long time. Huh. Interesting. So I don't think CERN is going to open a portal to the netherworld. Anything could happen. But I'm going to go out on a limb here on this one and say that as the link between the physical world and the spiritual world is you and me. People are the link are the portal between this world and the next world. We are the merging of spirit and physical body, and so there are 7 billion portals to the spiritual world around the whole planet, and we don't need the CERN reactor to provide that portal. There are billions of these portals, but now there is some truth to this concern, because just like with QAnon, the truth buttressing the QAnon stuff was that yes, there is a spiritual battle going on, and yes, that spiritual battle is aimed at harming women and children. That was the base assumption that brought most people into QAnon, because those were the foundational principles that rang true about QAnon. Yes, there is a spiritual battle, and yes, that spiritual battle is aimed at harming children. And so QAnon rang true with a lot of people. Me too, me included. I'm still not sure that there wasn't truth to Pizzagate. Now, I'm not so sure about adrenochrome and all that, but but there is an underlying truth about to QAnon. There is a spiritual war going on. Maybe it's not, eyes wide shut style, black robes and weird masks with the big, plague mask things. Uh, but there is definitely a spiritual component to the fight we're in this world, and yes, it is harming children uh, uh, drastically. Same thing with CERN. Technology has been harnessed to spiritually harm us. Now, most of it's in our pockets. It's our cell phones and our computers. But there's no doubt in anyone's mind that technological advances for at least the last 50, 60 years have all worked towards degrading the spiritual well-being of the world, of all of us. From television and popular culture and all of it, to their ridiculous alleged vaccines now and everything. Every technological advance has led to a spiritual uh, has led to spiritual harm to society at large. So when people look at CERN and say, "Oh, here we go again. Here's something new, and it's gonna to damage us all spiritually," that rings true. That rings true for me. That rings true to most of you even. Now, I think sometimes people internalize those foundational truths uh, about things, and then maybe they start building on top of those foundations uh, uh, structures that don't necessarily fit the foundation. Uh, but that doesn't mean we should excoriate them for for still trusting in spiritual truths or principles, foundational principles. It just means we need to help them with their building plans just a little bit. What they're building on top of that foundational truth doesn't always match the plans. And I think that's what's going on with CERN. It's kind of what's going on with this eclipse too. Wow, we brought it full circle. Look at this. I got to take a topic from beginning to end and bring it. First time you assholes haven't sabotaged me. Uh, so, with this eclipse stuff, people recognize that we are on the wrong path, and that God is warning us, and we are facing judgment. And someone will be able to quote me the passage of scripture. Oh, it's Exodus 1:16. I didn't stay on topic. Oh yeah, Braves win. Booyah! I didn't stay on topic, Isaac. We just were able to come back around to topic. Exodus 1:16. The earth and the sun and the stars have been put in the heavens as signs, and that's a foundational principle. And an eclipse is the most dramatic thing that can happen to the sun. And there is no doubt that I only got a D- in sabotage. That's pretty good. This man's been to SEER school. Uh, there is no doubt that we are being warned of our sins and being called to repentance. There's no doubt we are headed for judgment. There is no doubt we are in opposition to the holy God. All of these things are true. Let me get a sip of sweet tea here while I try to collect my thoughts. And I think that's what most people are recognizing when they're looking at this eclipse. When most people say, the eclipse is coming, this is it, what they're saying is, we are, God help us, we are a people of unclean lips, We are sinful, we are wretched, we are in rebellion, and we are marked for destruction because of our sins are like scarlet. And that's the foundational truth that's underneath most of this eclipse stuff. And that part is true. That part is 100% true. Now, the thing is, this is what always gets us. God's timing is never our timing. You know, when he sent Jonah to Nineveh to warn Nineveh, Nineveh ended up getting destroyed. This always gets forgotten. Nineveh did get destroyed. Jonah's prophecy came to fruition. It was just 150 years later. Nineveh repented, God relented, but ultimately it came to fruition. It came to pass. Uh, but God does not work on our timeline. I think it was 10 years between the time God told Abraham that he would have a son and when Isaac was born. I think that was it. I think it was 10 years. I might have that wrong. Yeah, I read that about the seven Ninevehs, Connecticut. I read about the seven Salems too. So if God is sending us a message with this eclipse on Monday, and I think he is. I don't. It's probably not going to happen Monday. What he's warning us of doesn't happen Monday. Think about Noah in the ark. I think it took Noah, was it 300 years to build the ark? Uh, you know, God's timing is not our timing. Christ's coming was first prophesied in the garden, and it was like 4,000 years later when he came. I actually think it would be better if it would come on Monday instead of us, having to wait. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. Like I said, I'm putting my get home bag in the truck. We're just getting close. You know what? We are getting close. It's gonna happen at some point. Hey, Okie Storm Chaser. Yeah, and I also read something where the path of the two previous eclipses also form a Hebrew letter, the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. There are some really, really interesting things about this eclipse. There's no doubt. And like I said, I do believe in that Genesis 1:16. The earth and the moon, and they are set up there for times. Oh yeah, Gunner's actually studying Hebrew. He knows all this stuff. But what I worry about is that we put time limits on this thing, and well, no, I mean I sound like Jonah, don't I? I sound like Jonah myself. I am a hypocrite because here I am. I'm saying I don't want to give this message because then it won't happen and I'll look stupid. I don't know. Patrick, let's talk about Made. What was Made? It's this Canadian law or this Canadian program. I'm not going to find this comment from Patrick. They should have better tools for. They probably do. I probably just don't know how to use them. I should learn how to use YouTube. So there's this thing in Canada called MAID. It's an acronym, MAID, and it's the Assisted Suicide Program in Canada, which Canada is at the forefront of these things. Canada's been at the forefront of assisted suicide almost since the beginning. I think there's one of the Nordic countries that's kind of like neck and neck there with Canada, but Canada is right there at the forefront of all this stuff. And as Patrick was pointing out, assisted suicide now, I believe, I think Japan just like suicide, period. And it's not so much that they're into the assisted suicide thing; they're just kind of into suicide. Waylon's here. But if I've read the articles right, assisted suicide is now the second leading cause of death in Canada. The second leading cause of death in Canada is medical assistance in dying. Thank you, Patrick. I don't know why I couldn't come up with that. Medical assistance in dying is the second leading cause. So what's 17,000 a month? That's surely that's not 17,000 people a month committing suicide. Gunner, give me some context on that number. Yeah, engineer to succeed says I'm into dying of old age. Patrick says yes. 17,000 people a month are. I can't even comprehend that. How many people are in Canada? Dear God, what's the leading cause of death? How many people a month are dying from? 17,000 people a month. That's more people than that live in the town I live in. There's 40 million people in Canada. 17,000 of them are committing suicide a month. So that's 170,000 plus another. So that's like 204,000 people a year. 204,000 people a year out of 40 million people are committing suicide. God, now how do you illegally immigrate to Canada? There is no easy way to get to Canada's borders. I can't do math in my head. I can barely do math on paper. I can't really do math with a calculator. But 200,000 a year for 40 million people, that starts adding up. I mean, 200, so 40 million, what's 1% of 40 million? I think that would be 1% of 40 million is like 40,000, right? No, 400,000. God, I'm awful at math. Someone correct me if I'm wrong here. But I think 1% of 40 million is 400,000. So we're talking about 0.5% a year of the nation's population is committing suicide. 0.5% a year, over 0.5%, is committing suicide every year. With government now, and oh, by the way, these are the people who are doing it with medical assistance. These are not the people who are getting creative. And it's not the people who are purposely drinking themselves to death or purposely ODing or, all the suicides that get counted as, car accidents and all this stuff. 0.5% of the nation's people a year are going to the doctor and saying, it ain't worth it anymore. Yeah, Isaac, that's a big one we need to. Let's talk about Isaac's. We need a little palate cleanser here for just a second. We're going to come back to the Canadian suicide stuff. But Dean, son of a gun, I just screwed it up. Isaac is pretty active on Twitter. If he wants to put a link to his Twitter profile in the chat, he can. If any of you are on Twitter, go follow him. He's pretty good with the memes. But he had 2 comments this week that the actor Dean Cain liked. Kind of cool. If any of y'all remember Dean Cain, he played Superman on the TV show. What was it? Was it Smallville? I don't know. He played Superman on a TV show about Superman's early years in Kansas or whatever it was. And he liked 2 of Isaac's tweets this week, so that was kind of fun, huh? Anyway, yeah. Okay. Dean Goldberry likes Dean Cain. Well, that sounds like nepotism, but fine, whatever. Yeah, it's like 204,000 people a year being medically suicided. Oh, The Adventures of Clark and Lois. Yeah, that's what it was. Uh, I actually never saw the show. Yeah, 204,000 people a year are being medically suicided in Canada. That's got to play hell with their demographics. That has to play hell with your demographics. Uh, I've never been like clinically suicidal. I've always kind of been blessed beyond anything I deserved with all that stuff. But there was a point when I got down. I got way down. Uh, and I was never thinking uh, I should kill myself. But I think we've all had these thoughts where, well, life would be better if I were dead, or if I were dead, that would show them. All that stuff that when you get depressed and you start getting a little dark. I've been to that place before, uh, and I think we all have. I mean, we've all been there. That's nothing special about me. But like, what happens when you're in that place, uh, and there's doctors out there saying, "Oh yeah, yeah, no, you're right. This all sucks. You should clock out." Now I'm going to get a little conspiratorial here. This just occurred to me, uh, and so it's not a fully formed thought. But if you've been paying attention and listening here lately, one of the places where the DEI stuff has really taken root is in the medical community, where especially straight white men can't get into medical school because medical schools are also obsessed with DEI. And I've heard this from multiple places where white people are having a hard time getting, uh, let's say, legacy Americans, but it's really white people are having a hard time getting into medical school. I'm sure it's the same way in Canada. So we're bringing in all these foreign doctors and all these outsiders who are extremely likely to hate America or hate the West or want to see the West punished. And then we're getting all these sick, fat, lazy, uh, uh, unhappy Westerners going to the doctor saying, "Oh, I'm so unhappy," and we got a bunch of foreign doctors out there saying, "Yeah, yeah, you should kill yourself. Yeah, go ahead, man. It ain't worth it." Yeah, I mean, this goes back to what I was talking about earlier. Surely, yeah, they just go out of their way to make you not trust them. uh, they bring in all these foreign doctors who are likely to not like us anyway, and then and let them prescribe suicide for us. Uh, it just makes you wonder. There may be a reason why they won't let us be doctors. Uh, oh wow, Dean says that at that rate, Canadians will be extinct in less than 20 years. Think about that. Think about that. Uh, Yeah, the mental health system is run by Malthusians. The mental health system is first off run by crazy people. When they talk about the inmates running the asylum, that is the mental health industry. Let's call it what it is, the mental health industrial complex. They are not interested in making you well. They have no they don't even desire for you to be healthy. They want you medicalized. They want you on drugs. They want you in their office once a week for the rest of your life. These are, by and large, not all of them. I know, not hashtag not all psychiatrists. The vast majority of these people are immoral, deeply manipulative sociopaths uh, who want to use people for their own nefarious ends, for their own money, to make themselves feel superior. Oh, Gunner says, not healthcare, but death care. Very sad. I worked in medicine and am ashamed of the medical system. There's no, yeah, Gunner is actually I don't know if holistic is the right word or natural. I don't remember what Gunner is. He's a good chess player, and so I don't care about anything else. I hate him. And I'm sorry, I gotta stop doing that. Gunner, I love you. I love your whole family. You're beautiful people. I just wish you'd stop beating me at chess. Okay, did you hear about the, did you hear about the psychologist who is being charged with putting drain cleaner in his patient's eyes because she was depressed that she wasn't blind and couldn't get disability? I can't even. What? What? Oh, he's integrative holistic medicine. Anywho. Boy, there's got to be easier ways to get disability than purposely blinding yourself. Anywho. Yeah, no, the mental health people are the worst of the worst. These are uh, uh, Munchausen by proxy. You know, those crazy people that need other people to be sick so they can feel better about themselves. That's just the mental health industry. They have no desire for you to get better. And the thing is, they know what the things they do don't work. Now look, if you need help, go get help. All right. Now listen to me. Whatever helps you get to a better place, get to the better place. Oh wow, the Braves were down 6 runs in the first. Uh, and came back to win at 9-8. Sounds like our starting pitching is going to be a problem again this year, though. I mean, I am not telling you if you have a psychiatrist who's helping you, if you have a medicine that's helping you, by all means, do what you've got to do because we don't even know what's making us as sick as we are. Bob Newhart. I don't know what that was in reference to, but hang around and Axeman ups your chance. Damn it, C103. Hanging around an Axeman ups your chances for disability. C103 has been around me in two of my most embarrassing incidents almost ever. In the last one, him and his, who all was there, C103? I know it was you. I think your brother was there. I don't remember. There was 4 or 5 of us there. And I was working on this. I had this idea. I was working on trying to this new technique with an axe, and I did a video on it. It actually worked, but it involved chopping at a pretty extreme angle a log that was laying horizontally, and I just was doing it too long, and my hands fatigued, and I swung, and man, this axe just came out of my hands, and it went. Now to hear C103 tell it, it came straight for his head. Now, just between you and me and the fence post, C103's got a pretty big head. You know, the fact that it got close to his head just means it was in the air. If it got in the air at all, it was gonna get close to that man's melon. It's a big head. But I don't think it got as close to his head as he remembers it getting close to his head. However, that still left it a lot of room to get far closer to his head than I was comfortable with. So, anywho, and then what else did he? Oh, I think he was there 1 year. My son, he might have been there for 3. Yeah, there you go. I'm disabled. Can't imagine anyone wanting it. Yeah, no one. I can't imagine who is disabled would want to be disabled for $900 a month. I mean, it's $900. It might have gone up a little bit. I used to be a repo man for a rent-to-own company, so I was intimately familiar with the disability industrial complex. We're going to have all kinds of industrial complexes before we're done here tonight. And back then it was $900, like $980 a month. It ain't worth being disabled for $980 a month, especially when you could make more money a month than that working part-time flipping hamburgers at McDonald's. So why the hell would you put up with any kind of physical disability for $980 a month? Anywho, so what else did C103 see? I think he was there the year I cut my finger real bad on a tomahawk. I was not holding the tomahawk that year when that happened. Someone else was holding the tomahawk, but I ended up getting cut pretty good. And then one year I was chopping, was chopping like a dumbass, and anyway, the stick flew up and hit me right below the eye somewhere, and it all swelled up, all black and blue. So yeah, C103 has seen me almost at my worst. C103, we didn't do a camping trip this year. We were going to have to, last year, we're going to have to correct that this year. We might wait for the weather to break in the fall, but we're going to go back out this year. Try to fire back up those get-togethers, especially the cold weather ones. There's value in those cold weather camping trips. Although we should do a warm weather one too. There would be value in that as well. So yeah, Canada is literally committing suicide. I mean, literally committing suicide. They're sending, people who are unhappy and sick and unhealthy for very obvious reasons. We're fat. We have horrific diets. We eat terrible stuff. We just put horrible poisons in our bodies. We spend hours a day staring at screens. We don't get exercise. We ingest all this filth into our minds out of the social media and off of the entertainment we consume. And then we take, stupid amounts of medicines and medications. And yeah, we're unhappy. Yes. Anyone who lived that life, strung out on drugs, fat, sedentary, with no purpose, consuming hours a day of negativity and just bullshit. Yes, the way you make these people happy is you start cutting all this stuff out. You get them active, you get them off the social media, you cut the We know how to help people. We know that for most people, again, if you're someone who this stuff helps, then by all means do it. I am not telling you not to take things that help you. But for the vast majority of people, all these drugs they put them on, all these, quote unquote therapeutic legal drugs, they work for 6 months, but then you develop a resistance, just like you do with illegal drugs and alcohol. They don't work long term, and people are always futzing with their medication levels. They're never going to find the right medication, because the medication is always going to stop working, because it's a drug and your brain adjusts to it and you become resistant, or not. Maybe, I don't remember the right word. Gunnar will tell us the right word. And you're never going to get better ultimately unless you're drug resistance unless you're one of those rare people, and there are those people out there that do actually have some kind of physical ailment, and there's a drug that does help that physical ailment. But most of the time, the drugs you're taking, they don't even know why they work. They just observe some sort of effect in testing, and you can't trust those assholes in their tests, as has been proven. And so, they test this drug on, a couple thousand people, and they say, a certain percentage of these people self-reported being a little bit happier while they were on this drug. Sure, let's prescribe it for depression. And yeah, maybe it's a placebo effect. Maybe it's some kind of opioid or whatever, and who knows. And yeah, people feel they feel a little bit better for a while. It's not going to last. It's going to go away, and now you've got a drug addiction to deal with on top of the underlying original problem. And the mental health professionals know this. They know this. They're not ignorant of the fact that what they're doing is going to make their patients worse off in 6 months. In 6 months, you will be worse off than you were. Here's a statistic I heard one time. Maybe it's an anecdote. Maybe it's not a statistic. Uh, but the rate of uh, treatment success for people experiencing mental health treatment is no different than the rate of the people who get better while they're on the waiting list for mental health treatment. It 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 means uh, that the very fact that you've decided to seek help in order to get over your problems is what's helping you get better and get over your problems. That the therapy and the treatment actually is having almost no effect. That it is simply a person's determination to get better and improve their situation. That You need to be in my body, and for me, not true. I hit a telephone pole head on at 80 miles per hour and 82, broke every bone in my body, lost a leg. I've been on same dose for 23 years, still works. Okay, so, and like I said, there are some people who, now I love, look, I love modern medicine when there's an actual problem that needs medicine to be treated by. Modern medicine is a wonderful, wonderful thing. If my appendix was bursting, I would not want to be anywhere else but here in America, in American healthcare. If I had cancer, I would never want to be anywhere else but here in America under modern healthcare. If I had hit a telephone pole at 80 miles per hour and lost a leg, I would want to be here in America and under American healthcare. Medicine used as medicine is a wonderful thing, and it is a blessing. It's medicine used as a business venture that I worry, that I think is so destructive. But yeah, pain medicine is a wonderful thing if you're in pain. Wonderful thing if you're in pain. Take some. By God, I get sinus headaches sometimes, and I try to not have to. I do my best not to take any medicine for them unless they get bad. But when they get bad, I'm in there getting the Excedrin bottle out of the cabinet. No, sirree, Bob. You know, in its proper place, used correctly, technology is a wonderful thing. Modern medicine is a wonderful thing. Uh, you know, if you've if your leg has been amputated, you know what? You probably need to take some medicine. I am 100% on board. I don't even mind paying for it. Uh, people who have legitimate needs and legitimate problems. I don't mind. The problem is all the scam artists. But yeah, no. If you need medicine, by God, take medicine. I am not telling you not to take medicine that you need. There's a lot of people who have been prescribed medicine, who are taking medicine, uh, who don't need to be on medicine. Uh, and and especially for mental health problems. If you're missing a leg, that's not in your head. Uh, Literally, obviously, you've lost a leg. There's no, there's no there's no question in anyone's mind that yes, here is something that needs treatment, and this is a real physical thing we can all look at and say, my God, get this man some medicine. Uh, but when 18-year-old girls or 15, 16-year-old kids are like, I just don't feel very good. I'm staying up all night on TikTok I'm sleeping 3 and 4 hours a night, and I eat a lot of Doritos and drink a lot of Mountain Dew, and I'm sexually active, and I think I need no, no, you don't need medicine. You need a kick in the ass. But okay. Anyway, uh, so a cat is committing suicide, and then, as Isaac pointed out, half, 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 50%, half of pregnancies in, I believe it's New York City, half. I'm going to the hospital if I get shot every single time, not taking any vaccines. That's my balance. Half of pregnancies in New York City are aborted. Half of the pregnancies in New York City and in the intentional killing of the child. It is very easy to wag our fingers at Canada about a half percent suicide rate, assisted suicide rate. We cannot forget that there are places in this nation where half of all the children are conceived, are killed in their mother's womb. And this is why, we get to make full circle again. This is why people are concerned about the eclipse. Because we know in our hearts, we know in our heart of hearts, that we are an evil, wicked generation. And God will not let this stand. At some point, y'all know I try to be a God-fearing man, and I don't hide that on the channel. But I try not to. Like just beat people with that all the time. That's not how you talk to men. You talk to men sideways. And that's like literally true. When men talk to each other, yeah, like when women talk to each other, they like to face each other and have eye contact and talk face to face. Men like to when men talk to each other, uh, we like to belly up to a bar. We like to sit at the bar and be sideways and talk. And all you got to do is watch an old Western movie. I'm envisioning. Uh, oh, come on, Zach. Coolest guy ever. Magnificent Seven, race car driver, motorcycle jump in the World War II movie. Name is on the tip of my tongue. Can't even remember the name of the World War II movie now. It was the POW camp. What? Hey, Biddy, how you doing, man? Uh, what? Oh my gosh, why can I not come up with this name? The Great Escape is the name of the movie. He's not a Marine. No, the Marine was Lee Marvin. Uh, 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 Race car driver. He used to drive a Bullet. He drove the Bullet. He was in the movie Bullet and drove the Mustang through San Francisco. That really awesome scene. Uh, Steve McQueen. Thank you. Gosh, I could not come up with it, Dean. Steve McQueen. I imagine Steve McQueen and Yul Brynner in The Magnificent Seven. Uh, and they're riding that stagecoach, and they're kind of talking to each other on the stagecoach. Well, or it's not a stagecoach, it's a hearse. They're riding that hearse, and they're side by side, talking, scanning for bad guys. That's how men talk. We talk sideways to each other. Steve Mavourin? Oh, I think the autocorrect got you, Sharon. Uh, yeah, Paul Newman was Cool Hand Luke. A movie I've still never seen. Oh, Isaac, the original Magnificent Seven is wonderful. I haven't seen the remake, uh, but the original Magnificent Seven, oh, one of my all-time favorite movies. Bump, bump, bum, 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 Ba 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 ba. Oh, I want to go watch it now. I haven't seen the remake. The original is too good. If I was going to watch The Magnificent Seven, I want to watch the original. Oki Storm Shadow. Yeah, The Seven Samurai was the movie that The Magnificent Seven was based on. It was the Seven Samurai was a Japanese movie made by some famous Japanese director whose name I can't remember. And then this American director saw that, and he made an American version uh, called The Magnificent Seven. Wonderful movie. The Great Escape is also extremely good. Uh, but anyway, can I have your watch when you are dead? I don't know. I just had a headline come up on my screen that said I am an abrosexual, and it took me 30 years to realize it. I don't know what an abrosexual is. I do not want to know. Uh, no, I haven't seen The Hateful Eight yet. I'll probably will see that at some point. For years and years and years, I was a Quentin Tarantino completist. No, I've never seen Cool Hand Luke, Sharon. And I watched everything that Quentin Tarantino put out. I actually haven't seen anything he did since uh, Magnificent Bastards, because Magnificent Bastards was so good. I mean, it was just so good. It was so good. I haven't watched anything since that he made. The only thing of his I've ever seen that I disliked, multi-caliber ammos actually, was a stupid movie called Death Proof, and it was really bad. And best new western is Tombstone. Tombstone was good. I think Unforgiven came out. Oh, did I say Magnificent Bastards? I'm sorry, Tim. You're right. Inglorious Bastards. God, I'm a magnificent moron. Magnificent Bastards. If that movie hasn't been made, though, it should be made. I'm pretty sure there's a movie out there called Magnificent Bastards. I meant Inglorious Bastards. With the Jew Baron. Anyway, how did we get off on that? Well, anyway, did you hear Mel Gibson is making the Resurrection of the Christ movie? Hollywood and their sequels, you know, but I guess uh, I'm also a Mel Gibson completist for the most part. I love Mel Gibson movies. Mel Gibson movies are the only movies I cry at, but I just sob at Mel Gibson movies. I just turn on the water. I just need to drink a gallon of water before I watch a Mel Gibson movie. I'm going to cry. And I'm not even kidding. I cried at The Passion of the Christ. You'd have to be dead inside not to cry at The Passion of the Christ, though. I cried at The Patriot multiple times. Especially that little blonde girl. I'll say anything, Daddy. Don't go. Don't go. I'll say anything. And I wonder if Caviezel stayed in shape. And then also when his son died. Everyone always forgets Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. Oh, and then We Were Soldiers. If you can keep your eyes dry during We Were Soldiers, then I'll tell you one thing: you're not a veteran. You're not a veteran. Yeah, but The Passion of the Christ, man, that just. Anyway. So, oh, and Apocalypto. If you haven't seen Apocalypto, that was a wonderful movie. It was a Mel Gibson movie. It was the one set in, Braveheart 2. Yeah, Braveheart 2. Oh, all of them. If Mel Gibson does it, it's good. What was Thunderdome? Okay, I don't think I cried at Thunderdome. I haven't seen Sound of Freedom yet, Dean. I didn't cry at Thunderdome, Apocalypto is very, 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 very good. It was set, I believe, in Mexico, right as the conquistadors were arriving, and it's all spoken in the dead language of Chapultepec or Waki Wiki Wikiwaha, and you would think it would be awful because it's subtitled. Wonderful movie. Uh, oh yeah, Lethal Weapon. Yeah, that's the one. Someone said Lethal Weapon was a Christmas movie. Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie? Yeah, I saw Passion of the Christ in the theaters too. Uh, uh, does Lethal Weapon happen at Christmas? I feel like maybe it does. Huh? How about that? I really like the Lethal Weapons as well. Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. How about that? Never picked up on that. You guys teach me something every day. Well, maybe not every day, but every Saturday night. Mayans. That's right. It was a Mayan movie. But yeah, Apocalypto was excellent. Oh yeah, that's right. The Christmas trees got shut up. Oh, the fourth one was okay. Okay. Hear me out. Who was Pesci? Pesci was in that one. Or Pesci was in two of them, wasn't he? Everything except that crappy Beretta pistol. And they're making a Lethal Weapon 5. Oh, I hope they don't wreck it. You know, one that I really liked that he was in was called Maverick. All right, Gunner, we appreciate you, young man. Don't get any good sleep. Stay up late tonight. Eat Doritos, Mountain Dew, and try your hand at a chess move in the morning. Okay? But don't get a good night's sleep. The original Maverick. The original Maverick was a TV show, if I remember correctly, right? Uh, yeah, James Garner. In fact, Garner shows up in Gibson's remake. Uh, but yeah, the Maverick movie was great. Jodie Foster is in it too, as well as I want to say, is it Russell Crowe? Who, who who else is in? Who else was in the Maverick with Mel Gibson? It might have been Russell Crowe or uh, oh, like man. Yeah, that was when they had the Russian prince out there, and they were scamming the Russian prince, saying they were gonna. Biddy Brew does not like Russell Crowe. That's interesting. Why is that, Biddy? No, Maverick is free to watch on YouTube. We might have to watch that. They had a Russian prince out there, and they were scamming him, telling them they were hunting Indians, and they were gonna let him shoot an Indian, and the Indians were all in on it, but they were all worried that he's too arrogant. Yeah, I uh, uh, oh, Blazing Saddles. Blazing Saddles was really good. Blazing Saddles was very funny. I still sometimes I'll go watch that scene where they get in the bar fight and they crash into the sheriff is near, and the Russian guy was mad that the Indians didn't talk like in the dime store novels. No, in Blazing Saddles, they get that final fight scene, and like they crash through the fake town. I'm just gonna pardon me while I whip this out. And they crash through the fake town, and they come out in the there's like this dance scene going on, and Dom DeLuise is the director, and he's like, "Watch me, faggots." It's hysterical. He hit Benny. Get him, girls! And all the dancers attack, and it's just hysterical. Uh, yeah. Mongo not but pawn in game of life. I like the Mongo character too. Oh, and the blonde. Uh, who was that? Was that Madeline Kahn? I think it was Madeline Kahn. But the German blonde. Uh, Boy, The Quick and the Dead could have been an excellent movie. It could have been superb. Uh, if you want some good faggot memes, you know where to go. Yeah, no, but she was like, "I'm so tired," and then the German guys are running around all fast. I thought that was hysterical. A Master and Commander was very good. But yeah, The Quick and the Dead could have been a superb western if they'd have just kept Sharon Stone out of it. Lee Major, everything Lee Majors was in was good. Lee Majors was excellent. But why they put that woman? You know, Biddy just says she doesn't like Russell Crowe because he's arrogant. I've never once seen Sharon Stone in something where I liked her. She's just off-putting, and I hear her talk, and I just want to strangle her. I mean, she's just like, what did, ah. C103 likes Tears of the Sun with Bruce Willis, so that's the one where he has to go in. He's on a special forces team. Oh, Jesse's favorite movie is Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey. Uh, he has to rescue some kids from some African nation, and he stays with. I haven't seen Open Range. I can't even place that one. He has to rescue some kids, but that's not the mission, and he stays with the kids. It's Bruce Willis, I believe I said that already. And I actually seen Tears of the Sun, and it was very, very good. I liked it a lot. Another Western that sometimes gets, probably not overlooked, but is still quite good is Silverado, and it's got Danny Glover's in it, a very, very young, oh, come on, Zach. He was huge. Field of Dreams, Waterworld, uh, uh, Dances with Wolves, one of the worst movies of all time. What was? Why can I not? Kevin Costner. Yeah, Kevin Costner. Thank you, Dean. Uh, uh, a very, very young. I once signed up to Grace Jones fan club. That's awesome, Santiago. That's hysterical. Yeah, Silverado is a very fun movie. Oh, Jesse, Book of Eli was extremely good. I was blown away by that movie, and I am ashamed. Dances with Wolves was good. Isaac, I'm sorry, brother, but Dances with Wolves sucks. Early '90s. Biddy is here, so I won't tell you what Dances with Wolves sucks, but I despise that movie with everything. I mean, just hate everything about it. Uh, And I like most of Costner's stuff. I loved Waterworld. I thought Waterworld was a great movie. It got panned when it came out because it was so over budget. That's true, Biddy. I can't think of a Denzel Washington movie that is not good. He did one of the few horror movies the Postman was excellent. Satch, I really liked The Postman. Uh, oh, I think Demolition Man is a wonderful movie. I thought Wesley Snipes in Demolition Man was brilliant. Oh, look at that. Isaac didn't like Training Day. I did. I did like Training Day. I did not see The Lost Battalion. Denzel Washington did one of the only horror movies I've ever seen that I enjoyed because I normally hate horror, and unless it's really, really campy. Biddy, I think The Postman is excellent. Uh, I can't remember the name of that that movie Denzel was in, but there was this ancient demon, uh, and he could jump from people to people, and Denzel had the demon for most of the movie, and the demon whistled a song is kind of how you would ever. I can't remember the movie, but it was actually really really good, and it was Denzel Washington was the bad guy. Oh, the other one Denzel Washington did that was really really good was he was an airline pilot who who had this miraculous saved miraculous skill of flighting, saved this plane that was on fire, and he was this big hero. But in reality, he was drunk and high that day in the plane, and he had a massive. Oh, Secondhand Lions is excellent. Not airplanes, guys. Uh, uh, I can't remember the name of the movie, but he was excellent in that too. It predated Sully Isaac. They probably couldn't have made the movie after Sully because it would have been seen as a criticism of him, and he was too popular. Uh, but a very very good movie, and you wouldn't think it would be a good movie because there's not much action in it. Uh, Fallen, Fallen. That was the name of the horror movie, right, Dean, with Denzel Washington. It was excellent as horror movies go, and I do not like horror movies, but Fallen was very very good. Battlefield Earth. Where Eagles Dare, war flick with Clint Eastwood and Robert Redford. I have not. I've seen that. I haven't seen it, but I've heard of it. That does sound good. No, Secondhand Lions is a wonderful movie. Everyone should watch Secondhand Lions. It is extremely good. I can't remember. I know Michael Caine is one of the guys. I can't remember the name of the other actor, which is terrible because he's huge. Uh, uh, but yeah, very good movie. A few of the parts with the kid. Look at there's Gunner playing chess. I just got a Robert Duvall. Thank you, Biddy. I just got an alert from Gunner on chess.com that Gunner made a move. Son of a Gunner. Secondhand Lions is excellent. Arm yourself. Some of the parts with the kid are a little melodramatic, but uh, Robert Duvall and Kevin Costner are in open range. Yeah, I need to watch that. I haven't seen 1917 yet. I've heard it. That's good. I'd like to see it. Eastwood dual wields MP40s on some Nazis. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Um, what was that one that Eastwood was in? It was a World War II movie, and they were going to go steal some Nazi gold, and he's kept more and more people just kept getting involved in the plot. Uh, I haven't seen Dunkirk yet either. I should watch that one too. Uh, I can't remember the name of that Eastwood movie. It's really funny though, and really good. But yeah, Eastwood is an infantry officer in World Kelly's Heroes. Thank you, Dean. Uh, if you like World War II movies and you like Clint Eastwood, you will love Kelly's Heroes. It is excellent. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is classic. I found the book Guns of August really good, and book in antique store for $5. I've heard about good things about the Guns of August. I've never read it. I'm watching Law Abiding Citizen now. Gerard Butler, Jamie Foxx, Colin Meaney. I haven't heard about that. Ike with Tom Selleck. Haven't seen that either, but I love Tom Selleck. Uh, Tom Selleck was a great actor. I've liked him in everything I've ever seen him in. I have never yet seen Tom Selleck do a bad job. And he was in some pretty atrocious Louis L'Amour adaptations of the Sackett brothers. I love Louis L'Amour movies. I mean, I love Louis L'Amour. I love the Sackett brothers in his books. I love Tom Selleck. The movies were worth watching for me, but they were really bad movies. But Tom Selleck did a good job in them. Yeah, Quigley Down Under is really good. Oh, Rusty just watched Band of Brothers for the first time. All that happened not far from here. In fact, Rusty, when I was a younger man, I used to be a newspaper reporter. And when Band of Brothers came out, uh, they did a premiere for it down there, not far from the mountain. And the newspaper sent me down because I was a veteran. The newspaper sent me down, and I got to hang out with all the veterans from Easy Company for the day. Uh, and so I met 17 of the 19 veterans who were of Easy Company who were surviving. But then all of the other regiments that trained down there at Mount Currey uh, had a reunion at the same time. Oh yeah, Satch Boogeyman. We do. We've got the Appalachian start. The Appalachian Trail starts in uh, in Georgia because the Appalachian Mountains extend down. Uh, so I got to meet a bunch of the veterans from the other battalion because Easy Company was only one company in the 501st, and then I think there were 4 or 5 other battalions that went through Mount Currey and did all the same stuff. And I got to meet Lieutenant. I got to meet Dick Winters, and this is an unpopular opinion, but I was not impressed with Dick Winters. I was not impressed with him in the book, and I was not impressed with him in person. I got to meet Lieutenant Colonel Strayer, who was Winters' commanding officer, and I was extremely impressed with him. And I got to meet his driver. Uh, and Dr. Quinn is a good show. Look, Jane Seymour is one of the more beautiful actresses of the last 50 years. I'd watch something with Jane Seymour in it just to watch Jane Seymour. Uh, but anywho, I got to meet just dozens of those guys, those veterans. So as the kid, were you the cowboy or the Indian? That's interesting. I probably would have been the cowboy because I've always wanted to be the. I was always lawful good. Yeah, no, Jane Seymour is just heart-stoppingly beautiful. Georgia has mountains, so does Alabama. Yeah, Alabama's got more than you'd think. Florida. uh, yeah, they've got some hills in Florida. Now we can start talking about favorite actresses since someone got us on Jane Seymour. Let me get this ice out of my mouth. Y'all don't want to hear that. Yeah. I hate that place. No offense. I like Florida. It's a little flat. It's water tastes bad, but boy, the politics are amazing down there. But anywho, I wonder if we should wrap this one up. You guys are being interesting, but I'm not feeling like I'm being that interesting. Hit Gal Gadot. Uh, so I'll say this: I like Gal Gadot all right. She's definitely a beautiful woman. The first Wonder Woman was not a terrible movie. The second Wonder Woman was pretty bad. And Gal Gadot is she stood up for Israel and all that, so she's not the worst of the worst. But she is still modern. Uh, we'll she's a she's okay for an Israeli. She's beautiful. Uh, she's absolutely beautiful. Who else? Since I'm on beautiful actresses now. We've got Jane Seymour and Gal Gadot. Jane Russell. If you don't know who Jane Russell is, you've seen Sydney Sweeney lately. I have not seen Sydney Sweeney. Oh yeah, Linda Evans, for sure. Linda Evans. Uh, there was this woman. Dare not besmirch Lady Godot. So we know who Dean likes. Barbara Stanwyck, 10 Tigers. Excellent. Excellent call. Barbara Stanwyck was not only beautiful, uh, but Isaac. Isaac. Uh, uh, Not only was she beautiful, but she was incredibly talented. and she was in a show. It was a Western show. Oh, what was the name of that show? It was X. It was. I mean, it was superb. It made Bonanza. I like Bonanza. I think Bonanza is an excellent show. This show that Barbara Stanwyck was in, it was Western. It made Bonanza look stupid. What was the name of that show? Uh, oh, Maureen O'Hara, Satch Boogeyman. Yeah, she was something else too. The Big Valley, was that it, Dean? That was that was amazing. I thought that everyone remembers it. I thought I thought the Big Valley. Yeah, Sharon Maureen O'Hara uh, was also she. Uh, I can't. Deeply attractive. I'm deeply attractive. I can't explain. Oh, Anne Hathaway was also a very beautiful woman. I haven't seen her lately, but she was something else in her prime. There was this woman back in the 40s, probably late 30s into 40s, named Eleanor Powell, who wasn't the most beautiful woman you've ever seen, but then she would dance, and unbelievable. Yeah, Anne Hathaway is a raging feminist. If if you ever just want to see poetry in motion, go on YouTube and look up this clip called "Begin the Begin." Uh, I don't know Dinah Meyer. I can't place her, Okie. And Eleanor Powell is in "Begin the Begin," dancing with the Begin is a type of song. Oh, look at that! Sharon Jones' mom was mistaken for Barbara Stanwyck in Big Valley. Scott Les is a lucky man. Um, uh, and Eleanor Powell is just she's dancing with yeah, Natalie Portman's a beautiful woman. Yeah, she was dancing with Fred Astaire, and see the thing with Fred Astaire is he always made everyone who danced with him look awful. Any woman who danced with Fred Astaire just looked like a cow. Uh, oh, Starship Troopers, I love that movie. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. Um, Eleanor Powell made Fred Astaire not look bad, but she pushed him. Uh, I'd pay top dollar to officiate Jello wrestling match between Gal Gadot and Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson is a beautiful woman. I'm not kidding. The fact that you haven't heard about Sydney Sweeney is astonishing. I've heard about her, Isaac. I can't place her. Oh, Biddy like Mae West. Natalie Portman was Jesse's first crush as a teenager. That's pretty. That's pretty good. Biddy pulling out the Mae West. She went way back. Uh, so all right. So Eleanor Powell, but you got to watch her dance. Uh, Amazing. We already said Jane Russell. Who else? We're talking about actresses right now. Uh, yeah, Eleanor did USO shows with Bob Hope. Uh, who was that weird looking chick who was in? I say weird. I mean I thought she not is it Minnie Driver? She was in Legends of the Fall with the girl from Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, the girl who was in Legends of the Fall with I think she was the one who ended up with Brad Pitt. But I always thought she was a beautiful woman. Yeah. Oh, Natalie Wood's sister Lana Wood. Oh, Angelina Jolie, boy, she's hit or miss for me, Isaac. There's times when I think she's gorgeous, and there's times I'm trying to figure out who let that skeleton out of its crypt. Oh, Betty White was pretty. Oh, Angela Lansbury in her youth was also very, very, very pretty. Uh, uh, Sharon says she's more of a Shirley MacLaine look. Shirley MacLaine was a beautiful woman. Sally Fields, I hate to admit it, but Sally Fields in Smokey and the Bandit was incredibly attractive. And that bothers me to say because I don't like Sally Fields. Actually, I don't dislike Sally Fields, but I don't want to like Sally Fields. And someone said Anne Margaret earlier, and yeah, Anne Margaret was also very beautiful. Oh, Salma Hayek. I don't. I tend to like my women a little taller, and Salma Hayek's a little short thing. Salma Hayek sets me on fire, 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 fire. Yeah, Salma Hayek is beautiful. Yeah, Salma does not age. Oh, Pam Grier was incredibly beautiful woman. Oh, Betty Brosmer. If you've never seen Betty Brosmer, look her up. Uh, it's just not even. It's. There's no way to describe Betty Brosmer. She actually ended up marrying Joe Weider, of who was this big. He was kind of like Arnold before Arnold. Real big in bodybuilding. Oh yeah, Judi Dench. Oh, Helen Mirren was also very pretty when she was young. But yeah, Betty Brosmer, and then of course Betty Page. She was gorgeous. Uh, Barbara Eden was very pretty, Biddy. Barbara Eden was very pretty. As was, Don Wells, Marianne from Gilligan's Island, obviously. Yvonne Craig, who played Batgirl. Oh, Julie Newmar. Julie New Julie Newmar. Ah, ah. Julie Newmar is another one. You just douse me in gasoline and light a match. All the Spice Girls, right? Uh, we know what years Ten Tigers grew up. Yeah, the gal from Bewitched, Aunt B from Andy Griffith. Isaac, you got to see Aunt B when she was young. Julie Newmar played Catwoman, Biddy Boo. She was the main Catwoman, and that was what she was most famous for. But she was just absolutely gorgeous. I can't remember, Satch, if was she the original Catwoman? There were three women who played Catwoman on that series, and I can't remember oh yeah, Terry Hatcher is gorgeous. And you know who is underrated? And Terry Hatcher reminds me of her is oh gosh, Friends, the brunette. Why can I not? Well, yeah, Biddy. Like I said, three different women played Catwoman, but Julie Newmar is kind of the iconic one. Monica Bellucci. Oh, Courtney Cox. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, Courtney Cox. I've always thought was vastly underrated. Holly Berry was gorgeous. Of those three girls on Friends, I always thought Courtney Cox was the prettiest, and none of them were dogs. Obviously, they were all three attractive women. But I thought Courtney Cox was the pick of that litter. Sarah Michelle Gellar, I, Eartha Kitt, I don't know her. Sarah Michelle Gellar has got a cute personality, and it's hard to know if it's her personality or not. Uh, I was about to say, Biddy liked Jennifer. Jennifer Aniston has that. It's weird. Isaac doesn't like Courtney Cox the best either. Jennifer Aniston, if you start looking at all of her individual features, they're not great. But somehow something about how Jennifer presents herself and how she's put together, the total package of Jennifer Aniston just blows you away. But I always thought Courtney Cox was more classically pretty. Oh, but I was about to say somebody. Who was it? Oh, well, I lost it now. Oh, look at that. Donna Wells is related to Les. That's kind of cool. Yeah, Matthew Perry is my favorite. I like the funny ones. Literally. I will say this. Janice was very appealing to me in that show. I really liked Janice. Oh my God. I loved every time Janice showed up. I loved it. I love it. Oh, you like Italians. Uh, Dolly Parton is a cousin of Biddy's Rick. That's very cool. That was a little catty, Dean. Dean says, I saw the leaked nude beach photos of Jennifer Lawrence. That's a lot of camera magic on screen. And Randy Travis is a cousin of Biddy's, too. Alrighty. I think we maybe have, well, no, we haven't plumbed the depths of that well, but who was the woman I was thinking? There was some woman I was going to say I was all excited about. I can't think of her now. Hey, Walter Davis. Uh, Isaac's related to Marie Antoinette. Not bragging about that. I mean, she was a good mother. There's nothing wrong with Marie Antoinette. Uh, do you like cake? The question is, do you eat your cake? Patty Lovelace's uncle was my high school German teacher. That's cool. I'm not related to anybody famous. It's sad. I used to eat Wheaties to be like Bruce. Turned out he ate them to be like me. Nice, Biddy. Yeah. Poor Bruce. And Winston Churchill. I don't know what. Isaac's related to Winston Churchill. Oh, Okie Stormchaser is a direct descendant of Anne Boleyn's sister. That's kind of cool. All right, Patrick is out. I think I'm probably wrapping this one up. We're close to 2 hours. I've been trying to keep these down to an hour, hour and a half, and you guys were all too interesting this evening. You kept it going. And then, of course, we started talking. There was some woman I was thinking of who I wanted to bring up. I can't come up with who it was now. Teens related to Kaiser Wilhelm. Unknown known met Nico McBrien and didn't know it was him. Okay, Isaac, I will look up Sydney Sweeney. And then we'll go from there. Alrighty, Les, Sharon, Biddy, Dean, Isaac, all of you. I could go through the whole list. We appreciate all of you. 10 Tigers, I think, was here all night long. 10 Tigers has a saint in his family history. Jesse was here almost all night, despite all the bad audio. I will try to get this audio situation fixed. I have no idea how to do it. Biddy, good night. Rusty, good night. We will see you all next week, guys. We appreciate you. Thank you.